Danny Flexen here for Seconds Out with Charlie Sims, of course, top manager within boxing, and got some fighters on this show that's taking place at York Hall on Friday. Just tell us who you've got on the show and who they're fighting, do a bit of a breakdown.
So we've got Ted Cheeseman, Kieran Conway. He's comeback fight defending the British title, obviously, since he's lost to Sergio Garcia. Hopefully, fingers crossed, he gets through this fight. And we're looking at the Fitzgerald fight next, so it's quite a big night for Ted. A lot of pressure on him to deliver in this fight, and he's got to look good. He's got to look good doing it. Charles Frankham as well, second pro fight. He had his debut in Nottingham not too long ago, so again he needs to look good in this fight. And Connor Ben on the Team Sims as well. He is fighting the guy from Finland. Can't pronounce his name too well. Yeah, can't pronounce his name, but he's got a tough night ahead. Obviously, he is.
Hopefully, this is some breaking news.
No, it's not. It's not anything exciting. Yeah, so he's headlining tonight. So Friday night. So that should be good.
You mentioned Ted Cheeseman, of course. He did suffer that defeat against Sergio Garcia, which at the time was a bit of a surprise. I think there's more appreciation now of how good Garcia is and was. But there's also been revelations since first broken on Matchroom's Born Fighter series, which is excellent. I recommend everyone give it a watch. That Ted was having some outside the ring problems in the lead up to that fight, and indeed has been for a number of years. How surprised were you, and maybe disappointed that he hadn't told you previously?
Oh, extremely shocked. Like at the time, it came out in the changing room straight after the fight, and everybody was kind of hushed out. And it was kind of just him and my dad went into a separate room, and he just told my dad everything. And I was really shocked. Like I didn't see it coming from Ted, because he's quite a switched on bloke. And you think, how could somebody get wrapped up in something like that? But obviously, you know, gambling is a big addiction, and it is a serious problem. And he had a problem for a long, long time. But as addicts know, they're very good at keeping it a secret, and that's what he did for a long time. But I'm glad he's come out. It's not too late. He's a young man. He's still got plenty of time. There was no, you know. The good thing about Sergio Garcia is he was so good, it wouldn't surprise me if he becomes a world champion. He was ranked number 2 in the world with a lot of the governing bodies. Obviously, if Ted won that fight, it would have gone on to do other things. But it's brought Ted back down. He's had to readjust his personal life and his professional life in the gym. And hopefully he can come back with a good win this weekend. And then back onto the Fitzgerald fight, which everybody knows Fitzgerald just come off a huge win with Fowler. And if you beat Fitzgerald, you're well back in the mix. So that's the plan.
And I know he's not fighting this Friday night, but I want to ask you about John Ryder, of course. He's on a rich vein of form right now, kind of needs to be capitalised on, I'm sure you agree. This is his chance to win a world title the next kind of 6 months to a year. What are the plans for him?
Absolutely. John Ryder's the comeback king. He's come back from no man's land. Now he's mandatory for the WBA Super World title, which Callum Smith holds. We haven't been called for a mandatory yet. I don't know when that's going to be called. I thought it was going to be after the Indam fight, but it hasn't been called yet. So whether it's going to happen at the end of the year or early next year, we don't know. We have got other options. I always think that the Billy Joe fight's quite a good fight. Obviously, they've got history together. The EUBANK fight is probably lingering around as well, as he wants to get out towards the end of the year. So there's big nights ahead for John Ryder. Don't know where it's going to be or what next, but we just know he's going to be in a big fight.
Style-wise, out of those 3 options, which one do you think favours John Ryder the most?
Probably EUBANK if I had to pick. But then you've got to look at the reward. Like EUBANK doesn't really hold a world title, so it's up to John what he wants to do. I think that the Billy Joe fight's probably second to that. I think they had a really close fight before. He lost on the split decision to Billy Joe. Obviously, they've both gone on different paths, but it'll be good if they can meet again at some point. And I still think he'd cause Callum Smith issues as well. He's small, he's stocky, he'll be right inside. Callum Smith actually fights inside for a big guy, so it'll be a good fight. And John's punching hard at super middle as well. And I think that if he catches you, you're going to be in big trouble. So all of those guys, I don't think any of those guys will be looking at John as an easy fight. I think whoever he goes in with next will be a good fight.
With Saunders, are you worried at all about the promotional divide getting in the way of making that fight happen?
I don't think so. I think if we can just do good business, we can hopefully make that fight. But I don't know. Don't know. Hopefully not.
Well, that's boxing, I suppose you can never truly predict. And just tell us before we let you go, who should we be looking at coming through at the moment, either in the Matchroom team or the Team Sims gym? You know, who's coming through? We know Charlie Frankham, of course, on this show on Friday, but anyone else we should be looking at?
100%. In Team Sims' gym, you've got Charles Frankham, who's obviously a very decorated amateur, just started his pro game. Then you've got John Doherty, Commonwealth Games medalist. He's 5-0, 5 KOs. He's done exceptionally well in his first year. We're just renegotiating a second year with Matchroom now. So he's one to watch in the super middleweight division. No doubt he'll probably move up to light heavy at some point. And then you've got Joe Cordina, who's not so much a prospect anymore, but a contender. And I think he's somebody you need to watch over the next 12 months. I think he's gonna have a British defence, hopefully August, September. And then he's going to hopefully fight Patera by the end of the year for the European. And I think once you go through that breakthrough stage, win the European title, he'll be on his way to the world scene.
Charlie Sims, we thank you for your time. Wish you best luck with your guys on Friday night.